Jared, you just seem to be gaining more confidence each game. You're in the starting lineup now. Does that have something to do with it? Maybe having to step up a little more? Or?
Definitely, for sure. Being put in a role when one of our teammates, one of our big part of our team, goes down, I just felt a need of, a better play of mine. And also, me being a freshman, you also have to get in the groove, and the game slows down for you as the season goes on. So that factor and also me needing to step up just came at the right time, I feel like. So, and I'm enjoying it. I'm loving playing with these guys. So.
Jared, you had some key baskets in the stretch to start the second half. You had 8 points in a row, but when they had the 11-0 run and got within a basket, you had the three-pointer and then hit a three-point play. Just talk about those couple stretches.
It's tough, playing against a team like Texas Tech. We knew we had a run, and we knew they were going to have a run. So it's just it's who can minimize their runs. You know what I mean? So coach called a play for me, and I just took the shot, knocked it down. But it was just a great game all around. Texas Tech's a great team. They do a great job playing defense, and for sure.
So the three was the one you called the play on?
Yes, sir.
Did Rico fire you up?
Nah, he fired me up at the end in the locker room. It was fun seeing him. He's a character, great guy.
Jared, Coach Drew talked about you learning from Makai this season. What have you learned from him, and how have you been applying it to your game?
How to shoot, a little bit, but Makai's always poised, and he makes the right play. He doesn't get tired of making the right play, and I feel like that's a very good quality of being a point guard. But I don't try to be like Makai, but I learn a lot from Makai and the things he does, and just add it to my game.
Makai, y'all answered when they got it to within 2. Jared hit that 3-pointer, but you guys closed out. Maybe that's something you don't do, a couple of weeks ago. What was the difference down the stretch?
I think we just kept our composure. Honestly, we knew they were gonna go on a run, like Jared said. It's the Big 12. Every team's gonna make a run. So we just kind of had to weather the storm there. Jared made a couple of big plays. We got some big rebounds, got some stops, and we were able to push it back to a double-digit game.
Okay, you talked a lot about earlier this week about how strong Tech's defense was and what it was going to take for you guys to combat that. But tonight, it almost seemed reversed. They were struggling with your defense. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, I don't think it was easy on the offensive end. It still felt hard for us, to be honest. But we were able to knock some shots down. But our zone can give teams some trouble. It's hard to prepare for it. Teams aren't used to, playing that in their practices. It's tough to prepare for. So, it was good to give them a little trouble with that.
Okay, how did you guys kind of turn it around? They were up 16-4, and I think it was 23-10 in the middle of the first half. What changed there for you guys?
Getting stops and rebounds, I think, was the big thing. We know shots are going to fall here and there. We missed a couple early that, are good looks for us. But just being able to stop them on the offensive end, we gave them a couple wide open threes early, so they kind of got in rhythm. So we had to shut those down a little bit. So that was a big thing.
Did y'all switch out of the zone, or what did y'all go to?
I just know our man was not good. That's all I remember. I think we were switching back and forth early, and then we kind of just, I think we kind of just went strictly zone.
Makai, you'll have to make another quick turnaround. You made a really successful quick turnaround the past game. Winning that, will that maybe help you all? Just having to do it so fast.
Yeah, for sure. The Oklahoma State trip definitely helps us just being able to prepare. We know we can't get too high off this game. We got to rest our bodies, prepare. Got to practice tomorrow. We got to get stuff out of that. So, I think we'll be ready, and can't take anybody for granted in this league.
How much can you guys take out of these two wins that you just had, considering how jumbled everything is? I mean, you guys are only a half game behind 4 teams that are tied for first place in the Big 12.
Yeah, that's the Big 12, especially this year. Every game comes down to pretty much the last possession. So, if we can just keep stringing them along, you never know what can happen.
Jared, Coach Beard said you're fearless.
Coach Beard?
Yes. Where does that come from, or is that something that just comes out at the right time?
Coach P is a great guy. He's a fearless guy too. Tell him I said that. And But I don't know. I just think, you know, me playing basketball a lot, I've been in a lot of games. I've been playing for so long. I just feel like, you know, I just got to trust my instincts and things like that. You know what I mean? So I love playing with these guys, man. They bring me joy. So it was a big game, big win.
Well, another typical Big 12 game, hard-fought, game of runs, and really proud of the different guys on our team that were able to step up. I thought Freddie and Mario in the second half really did a great job. Jared Butler really had some big baskets, but his 5 assists were huge for us, and everybody contributed. The bench was tremendous, so it was a great team win.
Scott, Jared just seems to be getting better and better. Is part of that maybe moving into the starting lineup, or is he just getting more confident? Or?
Well, I think this summer he wasn't able to work with us. He got here right at the start of school, so he was behind in conditioning. He was behind in knowing our offense, defense, and he's really like a true freshman at that point, because it takes you 3 months to adapt to the lifting you're doing, the conditioning, just to get your legs under you. And that's why it's so big to have everybody in the summertime, because then by the time school starts, it's really just basketball, and they're not suffering from all that. But he's gotten better and better, and I think the guys on the team have done a great job helping him along. And he's learned a lot from Makai, and Makai's and him have really, and King have really helped each other.
What does that say about him, though? I mean, he hit a lot of clutch baskets today, a lot of key passes.
I mean, he's a winner. Comes from a great program. They're used to winning. He hates to lose. Very competitive kid, and you feel when he's got the ball, he's going to make a winning play. Sometimes he has too much confidence in himself. He threw me the ball, and I'm not on the court. So, but he comes right back and makes a great play right after, which you love. He has short-term memory.
After they got out to the 23-10 run, what did you see in your team at the end of that first half to get back and get in the lead?
Well, I thought we switched defenses, and I thought that helped. Went to a bigger lineup, and that helped. And then we settled down and started making some shots, and that always helps.
Forcing turnovers. I mean, Coach Baylor was just in here, said that was the key to him, to what you did against them, was forcing the turnovers. What were you trying to do, especially against Culver?
Well, I think it was real personnel-based, knowing their tendencies and everybody in the league. That's what makes it so tough, is you know what everyone, do they prefer to drive right? Do they prefer to drive left? Where do they want to catch it? What do they want to do? And as coaches, we try to do as much as we can to help prepare our guys, and it's up to then, do we execute it? And tonight we did a lot of good things, and because of that, I thought the crowd really helped us today too. When they made runs, the crowd really affected the game, gave us energy, and allowed us to get deflections and allowed us to make winning plays.
Even for a league with a lot of parity traditionally in it, it's kind of unusual after 5 or 6 games to see a 4-way tie for first. You're 1.5 game behind after having a key injury and then bouncing back with 2 losses. What does that say about the league, and I guess what does that say about you guys?
Well, I think, again, 5 out of 6 years, #1 ranked league in the country RPI-wise, and the reason is top to bottom. There's no easy game, and players are tremendous. Coaches do a great job preparing their guys and putting them in positions to be successful. And our league's had a lot of injuries. We've had 2 players out for the year with Jake and Tristan. We've had Makai and Rio come and go, and one thing that I love about our guys is no matter who's been on the court, we played as a team and we played hard, and if you do that, you give yourself a chance to win.
Scott, you talked about different guys stepping up. I mean, Freddie, he doesn't play. I mean, he didn't play in a long stretch there.
He's rested.
Yeah, games. Him to come in today and to give you what how important was that even down the stretch? Right?
Well, I think our staff and the team done a great job in making sure each and everyone's ready, because you never know when your time's going to be. And you take Mario, for instance, and he didn't start in the second half, and first half really didn't play like he's capable, and then second half he comes in and was tremendous for us. And I tell you, Freddie, the best thing he's done is make free throws too. He's been clutch at the line, but that's what a team does. You have different people step up, and as coaches, each player brings a different skill set, and we're continuing trying to adjust to try to, with the pieces we have, to put them in positions to be successful. And King's leadership has been outstanding. Being the lone senior, he's done a great job.
Coach Beard said you guys have kind of had to reinvent yourself now.
Several times this year. Yeah.
Right, but 2 big wins this week. What do you feel like that's maybe going to do for the team?
Well, I think we learned early on this year we could beat anybody or we could lose to anybody, and really like the lesson of can beat anybody. But also, I think you learn more sometimes in your losses, and just understanding we have to be prepared each and every game. Otherwise, in the Big 12, you don't even give yourself a chance to win.
Coach, you had another big 3-point night. Can you talk about what the 3-point did to Tech's defense?
Well, I think our team's changed, obviously. We're not an inside first team now, and we're more in transition and in space. And with the 3 guards, they've done a good job in helping each other get good looks. And my dad always says, "I hope you make shots." And when you're a younger coach, you're like, "Well, yeah, right," but it really doesn't matter because your defense, your rebounding, all that other stuff. But at the end of the day, I hope we make shots too.
You got a really quick turnaround. Going to play a team on the road that just beat Kansas. Well, how tough is that?
That's just another Big 12 game. So, I mean, Morgantown's a tough place to get to. They have great crowd support, and Coach Huggins, obviously a Hall of Fame coach. So, I know in the past we've had some great games, and then there's been other times they've blown us out there. So we got to be ready to go to give ourselves a chance.
Coach, tonight you honored the Immortal 10. It's a very significant piece of history for all of Baylor. What does that, what does this type of game mean for you, kind of just beyond the aspect of basketball, specifically for the area of us? What does that mean to you?
Well, Coach Taft does a great job at the beginning of the year coming in talking about the Immortal 10 and the tradition for all the freshmen. And we brought in the same speakers to talk to our team that wasn't able to be there because we had a lot of first-time guys that weren't freshmen. And I think, again, we have so many great traditions in history at Baylor University, and the more you know about them, the more you can appreciate them, and the more you want to represent them in the right way and honor them.
Scott, just I guess the short version of how Butler found his way to you after originally being in Alabama and then being given his unconditional release. How did that work out for you guys?
Well, it worked out really good now. We'd recruited him out of high school, so we were one of his final schools, us in Virginia and Alabama. So he was very comfortable with us, knew us, and it worked out for us when we had a scholarship, and obviously losing Jake for the season, God gave us an answer.
And back-to-back years now, beating a top 10 Texas Tech team here. How'd that come to fruition? What does that say about the Farrell Center, the environment, and your teams?
I think we've had a lot of top 25 wins in the last few years, and that big credit goes to big assist to the fans, because at the end of the day, their energy and their support give us opportunities to be successful. So they deserve as much credit as as the players do.
Scott, Culver got some late, but you guys just...
Culver always gets some.
Y'all seem like y'all frustrated. Was it mixing stuff in? What specifically worked?
He's a great player, and what you try to do is just make it as difficult as possible. You know he's going to score, but it's kind of like, I mean, the NBA, Jordan or LeBron, you just want to make it as difficult as possible on him, and that's one thing he can get his own shot, and he's been tremendous for them all season.